Hi, my name is Melinda Pettit. I'm a Ventura County Master Gardener. The Ventura Master Gardeners here in Ventura County are part of the UC Extension program with the state of California. We currently have about 200 volunteers all over the county in various projects. The one we have here with the museum, we currently have 8 volunteers, and we started our partnership with the Ventura County Museum of Agriculture here in Santa Paula 3 years ago, and it's a great partnership between the museum and the Master Gardeners. The Master Gardeners' goal and mission is to educate the public on research-based gardening, and so we always aim to be part of a partnership with other groups like the museum that also have a similar mission, and so we consider this to be a really, really great partnership. I just want to show you around the native garden here. Currently we have a vegetable garden, but I want to show you the native garden. This is a California native garden that is really suited for our climate, which is Mediterranean climate, and here in California it means long dry summers and short wet winters. So because we get so little rain, we are always aiming to use less water in our gardens, and a native garden uses approximately 80% less water than most other types of gardens, especially vegetable gardens. So I consider this, along with a lot of other people, the new California landscape. Let me show you around. Not everything is California native. Like we have the olive tree, which is European Mediterranean. We have a few succulents, but for the most part, we aim for California native plants, which there are approximately 6,500 species of California native plants. We only have about 30 or 40 here. We have a native grape over here, and we let the grapes stay on the vine to feed the birds. And that is one of the benefits to a native garden, is that it feeds the wildlife, and it supports the ecosystem. So we have a lot of native birds, butterflies, bees that come around and feed off of our trees and plants. And so it is sustainable as well, meaning we use very little fertilizer, pesticides. The garden pretty much takes care of itself, and very little water, like I said. Once established, the native plants will require very little water. So initially we do have to get them established with water, obviously, but we will back off the water over some time, like a year, maybe 2 years, and then it'll be pretty self-sustaining in here. So this is a relatively new garden. We came here, the Master Gardeners started this project here in Santa Paula 3 years ago, and so a lot of what we have is new plants that have a lot of growing to do. So we have Matilda poppies, which are really hard to get established. They don't like their roots bothered, but once they do get established, they're very hardy and will thrive. And Matilda poppies are one of the prized California native flowers. It's a beautiful white flower with a yellow center. Looks like a fried egg. It's really a beautiful flower. We have some sages. We have white sage. We have some monkey flower, some germander. We have some western redbud trees in the garden. This one is one. Of course, this is the winter, so that is a deciduous tree. We try to mix deciduous and evergreen so that we always have something colorful in the garden. Currently, the toyon over here is giving us some beautiful berries, and they're also called California holly. And the berries provide food for the birds and color in the garden. We have some sages here that are going to be blooming. Spring is going to be a wonderful time here in the garden. We have a California bay tree over here. We have a white alder right here, which is a riparian. It really requires water, more water than a lot of California natives, but we're very proud of this tree. It adds a lot of interest to the center of the garden. We have more Mediterranean plants like the lavender over here. Let's see. This over here is called California Lilac, which is a ceanothus. It has a beautiful blue, deep blue flower, and that'll be blooming beautifully in the spring. Let's see. And here we have some desert mallow, which has a little bit of color. This beautiful little orange flower right here. And here's some more color for you. This is germander sage, and that has a beautiful purple flower. Right here is our California elderberry, a native tree, which is getting ready to bloom. It is deciduous, so it's starting to get some leaves, and then it'll produce some flowers, and that'll be a beautiful showpiece in the garden as well. Over here is California sunflower, which is giving us some color. And it's like a sunflower, I mean like a regular sunflower, but this is native. You'll see these in the mountains nearby. We have a coast live oak in the corner, a baby coast live oak. And then we have a valley oak over here, which is just a baby. Some California buckwheat, and the flowers over here we've left on the bush because they actually provide food for the caterpillars of a particular California native butterfly. And so they'll lay their eggs in there, and then the butterflies will hatch. What else should I show you?
You're doing pretty good on time. If you want to,
we could go over there.
You want to, yeah, and you can talk about that, and then we'll end it over there, maybe.
Okay. So another low water feature of this garden is the succulents that we've planted along the front of the fence. They add a lot of color and texture to the garden. They're not necessarily California native, but I would call them California friendly. And they give a lot for what they get. They get very little water and care, and they give us color and texture, like I said. They're a nice addition. Over here we just planted this area, which is native trees and plants. We have sycamore, a baby sycamore over here. Again, it's deciduous, and so at this time of year it's losing its leaves, but it's a beautiful specimen. We're really proud of this little sycamore. We have more Matilda poppies growing. A couple of also some more western redbuds, which are native to California, and penstemon over here, some lavender, which is again Mediterranean. This tree here is a Santa Cruz Island ironwood, and this is a beautiful specimen. It's got the red bark and the feathery leaves, and this is native to our local islands off the coast here of California. Some aloes, blanket flower, Indian blanket flower they call it, because it looks like the colors of an Indian blanket, I guess. Some native grasses. This is a mallow that is native to California, and that's going to have a beautiful purplish pink flower right here in this corner. Thank you for visiting our gardens at the Agriculture Museum in Santa Paula. Again, in the spring they're going to be blooming profusely, so I hope we get to have you come back and join us. Wonderful thing about this garden is it's visible from 3 sides of the museum. Even if the museum is closed, people walk by and they observe and enjoy our gardens. So that makes me really happy. Thank you very much.